Average worker is like 54 or something. You've got Hinkley going on. You've got all sorts of other stuff. We've got all this building that needs to happen, and we're just going to have a massive gap of workers within this industry. We're in a prime position now. We've got to build these houses. We've put it into our tenders so that we get Construction Academy on site with the person who wins the contract. And then we train people with their CSCS card, the health and safety. They go onto a live site for 6 weeks. They're right there with the contractors and all that good stuff. But what I want to do, people who are on home hunt, I want to engage them if they're not working, get them on that course, get them on the live site, get them maybe building the houses that they might move into. And how much more responsibility do you have for your community, and do you want to love it and hug it and
look after it?
Yeah, without a doubt.
And then people can train up a specific trade on the job and get the qualification.
And there are a couple of ones locally that have been done as pilots. 84% success rate of people getting into apprentices or into work. Can't beat those odds.
That's awesome, because when I was in Manchester, I worked in Moss Side, which is sort of inner city Manchester, and the old Manchester City football ground, Main Road, was demolished, and there was new housing being built, and there was this exact same idea that the contractor would employ local people, huge, unemployment, and lots and lots of young men, needs, and all of that. And then I was at the meeting where they said, but we don't have a college who has the space to do all the training. We don't. So, quick discussion. We're going to have to bring outside people in. That whole element of it was it was so depressing. It was a huge opportunity to provide a great employment and training.
Why didn't they do it on site? Live it, breathe it, feel it, love it.
It was just awful. Yeah. Because they'd won the contract on that basis, and then they were very quickly let off the hook. But you've sounded like you've got a much better model. Who will be providing the
we
training?
Work really, really closely with Cornwall College, and they have an arm called Work Skills Training Academy, and they are absolutely amazing. Can't praise them enough. And they draw down funding, and because obviously we're not ESF funded or anything funded, we run this on a shoestring. We don't really have a budget, but we kind of have please can we have? So they pull down the funding for the CSCS card. We may well have to pay for the actual qualification, not quite sure yet. Then we get the contractor to pay for the facility, the classroom and the slab on site. And we're at the infancies now. There are a few other things, PPE, tools, all that kind of stuff. We need to kind of work out who's paying for what. But this is a pilot, so we will find the money from somewhere and we will make it happen because it's the right thing to do. So that's really exciting. We're hoping they're supposed to be digging ground this Friday, and we're hoping to have like all well facilities and stuff on site.
So where's the site, sorry?
So Nanslow in Helston.
Helston, yeah.
So it's not far from the base there, so there was a few kind of objections and things.
The airbase.
Yeah. But everything's hunky-dory now, so that's really, really good. And also as well, because everything's quite often Campbell and Paul Red Roof focused, it's really nice to be able to do something over there. So I'm really looking forward to it. And we've got fantastic relationships with both Red Roof JCP and Helston and Penryn JCP. We have regular like stakeholder meetings with all the people that we work really, really closely with, just to make sure that what we're doing is right. This is out of date again already. It needs to be changed. So yeah.
So I was looking at your success stories. People coming in doing these. These are in office work placements, are they?
Yes. So that's another little thing that we do. So within the brand of Inspiring Futures, there's a section on support. Okay, so that's everything from Cornwall Works to Pentreath, mental health and budgeting and all that kind of stuff. Then we work with lots of other people that put on training courses. So if they need to do certain training, particularly functional skills, we noticed that there's a huge issue with functional skills, reading and writing and stuff in Cornwall. Okay. Massive. So we're trying to engage people. So at that level. So it's not just about getting a job. It could be that someone could be on our books for 2 years, and that's okay.
So who do you use for that sort of stuff?
We have used all sorts of different people. We use Adult Ed.
Yeah.
We Cornwall Neighbourhoods for Change do functional skills. Trying to think who else. Work skills didn't do it. I think.
So I presume you do some sort of assessments at the beginning of the process.
Yeah. So what we've got when somebody gets referred to us, okay, is we book a half an hour slot with them. We'll have a bit chinwag on the phone with them first, kind of build up a little bit of rapport and break down that scare barrier. And then we've got like an assessment form. It's got a really long name. I don't know why that name's never changed. And we've just had to add a load of stuff to it actually because of the ESF funding, because we didn't want to have a separate form. We just thought we'd add stuff to this. So this is our latest one. Basic details. That's for ESF. To be fair, we know that they've got the right to live and work because they're living in one of our properties. But ESF makes us jump through some hoops.
Because I used to do that European funding years ago when I worked in London. Oh, it's just torturous.
It is torturous.
The paper, it took me long to do the paperwork than it did to actually do the work with the people.
Well, it's the first time we've done it. And it's hard going. So these are all the kind of people that we refer to at the minute at the bottom. So really important questions that people don't get asked very often. Skills. What is it that you want to achieve? You've got to go to this. You've got to do that. You're mandated to that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is it you want to do? Everybody, I would say 90% of people have an exact vision as to what they want to do. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. However, I do get a few, my mum doesn't want me to work. I've got to work, but I don't really want to work. There is a few of that in there. But once we get our...
Are people able to talk about what they could do, what they're good at, that stuff? Yeah.
You'd be amazed what people come out with.
Good.
I had one lady, she said to me, I want to work in a deaf school and I want to be a support teacher, and that's exactly what I want to do. I'm like, right, gosh, where do I start? What training what should we go for?
5-year plan for that sort of thing. That's great, yeah.
But what an aspiration. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant.
There is an assumption people don't have aspirations, like they need to be told sometimes. Not from you, obviously, but from government policy sometimes. That's the sort of feel of it, that the TF programme talks about a key worker will manage the family and their problems. It's like, somebody told me they were going to come along and manage my family.
Well, for a start, you haven't gone to them. They've come to you. Who are you to come into my life and say whatever? And to be fair, I'm quite happy to manage my own life, thanks. But I might want a little bit of help and advice along the way.
Yeah, it's a funny term to use. Yeah.
So we talk a lot about barriers to work. That's where we've discovered a lot of poverty and debt and budgeting, and I'll talk about that in a little bit because we've managed to do quite a bit with that, which is really good. We talk about previous work history and transferable skills. What is it that they've got? What can we use? Because we've now started to do some things about debt and benefit and support and all of that, we've added some extra questions here about, do you worry about benefit changes? Do you worry about managing your money? And that will just help us for...
Are people sort of aware of what the benefit change was going to mean for them?
Not really, no. When you talk to people about universal credit and you talk about the rollout, that just petrifies me. I can't even think about it until it's here. Get a lot of that.
People are used to what they've had.
We did a really good pilot, which we've been nominated for an award for, called You Pay, where we got 100 people to volunteer to go down the universal credit route and have their housing benefit go directly to them. And there was really good positive results from that. And I could probably send you those results. I don't know them all off by hand, but it might be helpful for you too, because quite a few housing associations have done pilots, and interestingly, we had completely different results to another housing association that went in and we did scatter approach. So people just volunteered across our stock, where another housing provider just picked quite a vulnerable estate and did lots of key worker and support and all of that kind of stuff, and they found totally different results to us. They found people really, really struggled.